All right, let's talk about making things happen on a screen with Python. Ever wondered how you get shapes to move, react, and, well, come to life? Today, we're opening up the Coder's Toolkit to show you exactly how you can control any shape you create.
So, you're staring at a blank screen. How do you get from that to something cool and interactive like your own game or animation? Where do you even begin?
Well, the secret isn't some crazy, complicated magic. It's actually much simpler. It's all about learning the levers and dials of your code. We call these properties. These are the things that let you control a shape's every move, its size, its color, literally everything.
Okay, first things first. Before a shape can do anything cool, it has to be somewhere, right? So the very first tool in our kit is all about position. It's about putting your shape on the map.
Think of these 6 properties as the core GPS for any shape you make. They tell Python exactly where to pin the shape's edges or its center on the screen. It's as simple as that. Now, this is where things get really fun and interactive. We can link a shape's position to something called mouse X, which is just Python's way of tracking where your mouse is horizontally. But look closely here. A tiny change in which property you use completely changes how the shape follows your cursor. So here's the bottom line. Using center X makes the shape follow from its middle, which usually feels really smooth and natural. But using left or right, well, that anchors the shape by its edge instead. This choice is what gives you super precise control over how things are placed. Okay, so our shape is on the map. What's next? Well, now we get into the design tools. Let's talk about controlling its size and making sure it's aligned exactly how we want it. Now, width and height are pretty much exactly what they sound like. They let you stretch and squish your shapes on the fly. But that third one, align, it's a little different. It has one very important rule you've got to remember. Just imagine your mouse is now a resize tool. In this code, we're linking the shape's width to where the mouse is left to right and its height to where it is up and down. The code is super simple, right? But the effect is so powerful. Your program instantly feels more alive. Okay, listen up because this is a pro tip that will save you a ton of headaches later. That align property we mentioned, the one that decides how a shape is positioned relative to its coordinates, it doesn't play by the same rules as the others. Here's the deal. You have to set the alignment when you first create the shape. It's part of its blueprint. Think of it like the foundation of a house. You can't just decide to move it later without tearing the whole thing down and starting over. And if you forget that rule and try to change the alignment after it's been made, your program is going to stop and give you this exact error message. So if you ever see this, you'll know exactly what you did wrong. All right, next up in our toolkit, the fun stuff. Let's get into the aesthetic controls and make our shapes actually look cool. This is where you can really get creative. With these properties, you can control, well, everything. You've got fill for the main color, border for the outline color, border width for how thick that outline is, opacity for transparency, and even dashes to make the border a dotted line. And check this out. With just a single mouse click, you can trigger a complete visual transformation. We're flipping the colors, making the border way thicker, turning it semi-transparent, and switching from a dashed to a solid line. Bam! All happening instantly with just a few lines of code. Okay, this is where it all comes together. We've placed our shape, we've sized it, we've styled it. Now, let's use these properties to create movement and make things really happen. 2 more super powerful properties for you are visible and rotate angle. Visible is basically an on-off switch. Set it to false, the shape disappears. Set it to true, it's back. And rotate angle, well, that lets you make things spin. But how do you make a shape glide smoothly across the screen or rotate continuously? You don't just tell it to jump to a new spot. The real trick is to add a small amount to its current position, over and over and over again. And this little operator right here, plus equals, is about to become your new best friend for animation. It's just a shortcut. It tells Python, hey, take the number that this property already has and just add this much more to it. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's the key to motion. So by repeatedly adding a little bit to the center X property, you create this perfect illusion of smooth motion to the right. And by subtracting from the center Y property, you move it up. This is it. This is the core principle behind pretty much all animation in code. And there you have it. Position, size, style, and motion. These properties are basically the control panel for all your visual creations in Python. You now have the fundamental toolkit to bring any idea to life.
So, we've shown you the tools, we've walked you through how they work. The final and honestly the most exciting question is, now that you have the toolkit, what are you going to create?